day 24 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, and I'm talking kind of quiet because it is early in the morning and my husband is asleep. So I hope you guys can hear me. I've got my headsets in to talk. Let me show you the sketch real quick. Hold on one second here, y'all. It is by Cassandra Tooth for Crazy Craft Obsession, and she has this pinwheel look here with a couple photos, and then she's got little butterflies with mixed media. And I do like this like pinwheel look stuff top and bottom here. And then it's framed in. And what I've picked out are these two pictures. They're actually pictures my daughter took of a photographer's camera of some pictures that she took of my daughter. So I thought this was kind of neat because it's pictures within a camera. So I really like that. Now, granted, these are vertical versus horizontal, but you know, whatever. And then I pulled out Vicki Boutin's papers here. I think I have various collections, to be honest with you. This is from I forgot the paper pad. Maybe Print Shop. I think it's Print Shop. And then I've got a Fernwood for the butterflies. I'm going to cut these out. And then I think this might also be Print Shop. Because I like these cameras, I'm going to make these the pinwheels, I think. I'm going to try to make sure I show cameras there. And I pulled this out because I didn't show you real quick. I didn't point it out. She kind of has like these little lines like this. And that could be either like a vellum piece or something or washi tapes. But I do have this paper here with these little lines on it. So I think I'm going to use this. So that is what I'm starting with. I may end up pulling out black cardstock. We'll see. But I think what I'm going to do is use this and this will be framed on this. And then my pinwheels will come on top of this. So that's what I'm starting with, y'all. All right, let me cut these butterflies out and do my initial layout here, and I'll be back on in a second. Okay, guys, this actually turned out really pretty, and I'm happy with it. So I've already done the top half here, so this is going to get a little bit choppy because I do some stuff kind of in a weird order, and then also I'm doing things kind of mirror imaging, so I'm going to try to keep out the duplicate work, but still let you see kind of what I did. So in this case, I took the camera picture, and I've learned this lesson the hard way. I made sure that my top and because normally I would have cut like a circle and then just cut it in half and then done, the pinwheels. But when you have a directional pattern and you want to have a top and a bottom, you really can't do that. You need to have cut your circles where your images are going to be in the right direction. So I've learned the hard way, and I do this now. I did my top circle and then I've done my bottom circle, traced it out. And I decided just to use scissors. I have that little cutting system that you saw in the beginning that I traced, but I didn't want to mess with that because I knew with the half circle and stuff, it was just going to be a little easier. Now, there's where I was doing this is where I'm telling you I'm kind of a little out of order or odd order here. I did trim down that paper a ½ inch, and then I scuffed the edges of it. And now here's where I'm going to use my Dylusions black ink and kind of sprinkle this around. If I'm 100% honest, I should have made probably bigger splotches or something because when it's all said and done, it's a little hard to see the stuff I added. Luckily, the paper itself had some pre-printed mixed media that were bigger splotches. So I did it, and you can kind of see it, but if I'm honest, I should have probably used like a paintbrush or something and made like bigger splotches for it to really show up. But I still like it. It's not like it looks bad. I just wish I'd done a little more, if I'm honest, a little more oomph on it. All right, so I'm going to glue my little frame or my little my layout mat here. And now I'm going to look at my circles. I'm just going to start cutting them into the little pinwheel shapes. I just do it by eyeball. I don't measure, and that's by design because I am scuffing the edges of all the little pie shapes. I've already done the top, as I mentioned. I'm not making you watch like the same process twice. It just seems silly to do that. So here's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of eyeballing these things, and I'm going to cut them. Now, I will tell you in the sketch, and I thought about doing this, but I didn't. She had flattened the round edges, if that makes some sense. It wasn't technically like a circle anymore. She had flattened them, and I thought about that. But I've got these cameras, and they're like this round lens, and I just had it in my head it looked kind of like a lens or something, and I didn't really want to flatten it out. So mine stay round. And I'm just going to scuff, like I said, scuff all these edges here, and then I'll end up gluing it down. Now, I actually end up kind of smearing my inks too, but again, it all gets kind of covered up, so it's okay. I kind of fast around with the spacing on this thing because I think she might have, like, cut smaller. I mean, I don't know if it was an exact match with her pieces, but I didn't do that again. I just kind of, like, made them not even on purpose, but, just kind of fast around a little bit. So I'll end up cutting out some of that fasten because sometimes she had kind of bigger spaces in between some of the pieces, so I thought, okay, I'll do that. But then when I did, I thought it looked kind of strange with my set, so I end up having to fast around with a little bit, so I'll cut that out too. I'll tell you, so the pictures I mentioned to you is when my daughter was modeling. She'd gone to New York. I've mentioned this on Loud's before, so if you're new, then it's kind of new for you. If not, my apologies, get through the same story kind of. But she was, what happened is when she was in high school, she had her senior pictures made, and she just loved the whole experience. I don't know, she just fell in love with the modeling stuff, and frankly, she got very positive feedback from the photographer. They were like, they didn't have to hardly edit them. Just, it's really funny because, I know she's a pretty girl. I love her. She's a pretty girl, and I've always thought she's a pretty girl, but there's lots and lots of pretty girls. And it always puzzles me, like, why is this one a model and that one not a model or whatever? And I have a photographer friend. I asked him, he said, it has to do with the way the light hits the face. It has to do with the light hitting the bones or whatever. And she just has one of those faces, I guess, that just the light finds the face. I don't know how to explain it, and I don't really even know if I understand it fully. But as a senior, she enjoyed that process. So she went and she had a friend that was modeling, and she asked, how do you get into that? Now, my daughter, you've seen pictures of her. She is not your traditional, real slim, skinny little model person. I'm thinking, okay, whatever, but they do have curved divisions anymore. Obviously with more inclusivity in the modeling world and that sort of thing, people want to see themselves in ads, and she's a normal looking person. So she went down, met this model agency, and they signed her. Well, part of that is it's a boutique in Dallas. And so then they end up getting her with a New York agency. And so she got a contract out of a New York agency. And so she had to go up there. I shouldn't say had to. She was offered the opportunity to go to New York. Anyways, that's how all these pictures come about. So I told you guys I was going to fussy cut those little, I guess they're technically moths. I said butterflies, but I guess they're technically moths. I pre-cut those little butterflies before I even started the camera. And then I've double matted the photos. I'm kind of keeping this whole layout. If you notice, it's a little bit monochromatic. I do have the little pops of orange in the moths, and I actually really like that because you can kind of see her red hair in the photograph. So I kind of have this like gray / blackish, charcoaly type color scheme with these pops of orange. And it was a little bit accidental, but I really love it. It's very much, all one kind of color scheme. So I've got that little strip of paper I showed you guys. I thought I was going to have to cut into that bigger piece, but I didn't. I was able to use this one little strip and cut it up, or technically two little strips and cut it up, and use it as kind of where they had like the little like washi tape / vellum or something. I find this title and I just love it. And I was so happy because it had the orange word. It says attitude is everything. Because these pictures here, I'm not going to lie, she was 18 here, but you can kind of see they're a little bit on the sexy side, and I'm not sure I loved that, but she was 18, modeling and all that stuff. So, because she's got like her fingers in her mouth and stuff, and I'm like, oh gosh, okay. But I thought this title was perfect. Attitude is everything. And then I find a couple of little pieces in a minute. Oh, I have to glue these down yet still, y'all. I just kind of do the top down method here, where I'm going to attach these to the pictures versus coming from the bottom up. I've mentioned this before, Sarah Davies will kind of do this, and it puts your photos into a block, and then you can kind of move them around where you want them on the page. And I really like that when you have these kind of layery bits. So I'm going to do this little Nuvo glue piece here, and then I'll pull out in a minute. I'm going to find, she had journaling on the left-hand side of the sketch, and I've got these words on here, so that's kind of acting as like, the words on the page kind of, but I'll end up finding a few little pieces of chipboard words too, and I really like that. Now, I will add a tag to a little small, well, I guess it's a label actually. I'll add a little small label. I don't leave on camera me writing on it and everything, but you'll see it in the slowdowns. I do it after I glue this stuff down here. I think I'm just attaching these photos here. And I do a little offset. Again, this is where you kind of assemble your photo block, and then I think I shift it up actually even. So at this point, I've kind of got it there, but I think I actually move up my title and move the whole block up a little bit because it's a little low. I think I even moved my butterflies, actually. The ones on the top right there, I switched them because I think the blue, the oranges were all kind of together, and this other little butterfly has a little bit of blue in it, so it's a little bit different colors. So I'll end up flipping those as well. I haven't glued those top butterflies down. I've glued the bottom ones down, but not the top ones. Here's where I decided to switch those. I was looking at this sketch. She had a little different, she had one like on each pie piece. I should have switched that really big one up there because I have the other one at the bottom, the bigger one's on the left side too, but it's okay. Here's where I'm going to find the little pieces of chipboard. One of them says click with love, which I love that because again, it's all about this, camera type motif here. So I've got click with love I'm going to put down, and then I'll find live for the moments, and that's going to go down. Usually I'll do 3 phrases, but this one, it kind of ended up in the little, I was kind of happy because it ends up in the little space, you know, where the photos, the gap of the photos or whatever. So I didn't want to go below that. And then, but I do decide I need to add the date and stuff like that. So I'm going to go off camera here, and then I'm going to find a little tag, and I'll write New York City 2017 on here and put that on the bottom right of that photo. But here's the slowdown. I think this turned out really pretty. I like this sketch a lot, and I was kind of proud of myself for finding the little camera paper. That might even have been, honestly, that's probably now why I put these photos in with this set, even if I don't remember. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you do the like and subscribe. Make sure you check out the playlist. There's hundreds and hundreds by now, y'all. You've got a lot of watching to do if you haven't watched any. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.